Hi, Bookies, and welcome back to another episode of This Is For The Soul, the podcast, and I'm your lovely host, Brianna Sade. On this podcast, we talk about all things mental health, personal development, spirituality, girl talk, you name it, we're going to talk about it. It has been 2 weeks since I have uploaded an episode. It's been an eventful 2 weeks at that. I have been with friends, family, traveling, enjoying my summer, and I just haven't been uploading. Like, I don't really have an excuse except for the fact that I've just been out and about. But with all that being said, I'm here. I'm showing up for this episode. I just came back from New York. I was in New York for 4th of July weekend. The day we didn't spend our time in New York for the 4th of July. My brother just graduated high school and my cousin, and we had a family barbecue up there. So it was pretty fun. I got to see family, friends, and, just enjoy time with people that I really don't get to see often. And then last weekend, and I celebrated a friend's birthday, and I was just chilling and vibing. I've had an eventful 2 weeks, and I'm glad that I'm actually getting outside more and, just hanging out with friends and family, because that's very important, especially with the type of climate that we are in at this very moment. And there has also been a lot of things that have been happening in the news. But for real, this episode is just going to be me talking off the dome, because I really want to talk about, well, first, before we get into the topic that I actually do have in mind for this episode, I want to put out some self-promo, because why not? So I, of course, record video episodes on YouTube, but I also have started to take my tarot journey more seriously, and I started posting videos, collective readings, and things of that nature. So if that interests you, if you're interested in spiritual content, tarot card readings, collective messages, that is there for you. But if you are just interested in my podcast, I also have a playlist just specifically set for the podcast. So feel free to check that out, because I really do feel like it is time for me to start embracing my spiritual gifts more. And I want to share that part of me with the world, but I also want to be very intentional on how I do it. So, yeah. Now we can get into this episode. So, with everything that's going on in the world right now, one big thing that I have been focusing a lot more on is trying to heal my relationship with money, because my relationship with money, I wouldn't say it's been horrible, but it hasn't been the best, because I've had some really high highs and some really low lows. But within those two dynamics, I still had these feelings of lack and insecurity, or feeling like I don't have enough when I might just have enough to be comfortable. But it's just a lot when it comes to that. And I've just been recently trying to really figure out the root of the issue. I know that I do have wounds surrounding money. I wouldn't say that my family was poor, but we weren't rich. I lived a comfortable life. Yes, there were some points in time where we did struggle, but my mom, my grandparents, everybody was good at hiding that struggle. And I think that that's a good thing, because even if I'm down bad now, nobody would be able to know. Why? Because I don't wear that sense of struggle as who I am. I don't show up. If I'm broke, if I have -$2 in my bank account right now, I'm not going to let my looks, my attitude, and all of that reflect that, But I've come a long way, because there have been times where I have beaten myself up, or I have felt insecure about money, and it's something that we all face as a challenge. But I really do think that it starts from childhood. And when you are a child and you see your parents and their relationship with money, it's like money has this value attached to it that if I don't have money, then I can't enjoy life. If I don't have the right amount of money, then I can't be happy. I can't support this. I can't do that. While it is fair, money is something that we use as a tool to help finance things and just do things daily in our everyday lives because nothing is free, unfortunately. But it's like we do a lot with money and we attach our sense of self-worth, our sense of joy, and everything that we have to it. And that's when it becomes a problem because money really is an energy. And we attach so much value to it when realistically it really means nothing. It's man-made, it's a social construct. It was something that was created for us to be able to exchange goods and find ways to benefit, right? When you are constantly in this lack mentality or you're constantly feeling like I don't have enough money, how am I going to do this? The universe is going to kind of like take that mindset and it's going to kind of make it harder for you to access that money because you feel that way. When you feel like money is not accessible to you, money is not going to be accessible to you because you feel like it's not. When you feel like money is the root of all evil, when you feel like money is the reason, like a lot of the times we say that we love money, we value money, we really want it, but when we actually get it, we don't respect it. I seen this video on TikTok the other day and this girl was basically talking about how you have to treat money like you are in a relationship with it. And that is 1000% true because think about being in a relationship with someone, right? And it's like you get them, you're so happy to have them, but then once you are in the swing of things, you start to see who you really are when trouble arises. Like for example, like with money, like you get all this money, but you don't know how to spend it wisely, so you end up making reckless decisions or you end up just hoarding your money and keeping it so close that you feel like you can't spend it. Or like there's so many different like avenues you can go down. If you are the type of person that recklessly spends your money, then think about if you were in a romantic relationship, that will basically look like you not having any boundaries. And that clocked my teeth because I am the type of person that struggles with impulsive buying and impulsive spending. And a lot of that does stem from my childhood. And I've had to come to terms with this because I lived with my grandmother and she is very frugal when it comes to money. However, she is very financially responsible. And a lot of the times, like, there were certain things that we couldn't do or we couldn't get or we couldn't have because it was just like, no, we don't have the money for that, or no, that's too much money, or no, why do you need that for blah, 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 right? So as I got older and when it came to me trying to spend money on myself and take care of myself and prioritize things that I like and that are important to me, like, say if I wanted to go, let's just say if I wanted to go to a store and buy a fancy bag, right? And it's like, I really want that bag, but I talk myself out of not getting it because low-key I feel like, damn, if I buy this, that's too much money and I need to save it. And I'm not like, I would basically just try and talk myself out of it because I feel like I'm not worth the value of that bag, or because I feel like it's too much, or it's I'm too expensive, too lavish, too luxury, yada yada yada. And that's an insecurity that I've had around money for years, where it's like, if I do buy something expensive or I do try to indulge in myself, I feel guilty because I have been led to believe that spending money and indulging on yourself isn't really important. The important thing is that you're supposed to just have money and save it for a rainy day, but you're not really supposed to spend it on yourself. And when you are, you're doing too much or you're being extra or XYZ. So that, I hope you guys get what I'm saying, but that's just a mindset that I've had. Like, we've all heard money doesn't grow on trees, but a lot of the times, all of these things, all of these feelings and all of these like ideas that we have around money have come from have become like societal norms, or just a way that we kind of stay stuck in this cycle of capitalism, because capitalism really is meant for us to stay stuck and believe that in order for us to achieve great things, in order for us to have a happy, healthy life, we have to hustle and grind and continue to make money. And a lot of people say money buys happiness. Now, I can agree to disagree. And I say that because while money does play a role in a lot of people's happiness, it's not something that should be bought. It's like money is a tool that is used to help you do the things that you want to do, to fund the things that you want or that you are actively trying to do. But you have to have a relationship with it where it's like, you got to know when you're spending too much. You have to know when you are worth it. You have to know your value. Like, there's a lot of boundaries that you have to place around it, just as if you were in a relationship with your partner or even with yourself. Like, you have to have self boundaries. So if you don't have boundaries, your bank account is not going to reflect someone who is financially responsible and mature and who can save money. And saving money is not something that's meant to be scary. Saving money is like, you have to have a backup plan, have extra money somewhere so you can still feel secure. Like me, I have more than one savings account. And I also have like the little cash books from TikTok. So like, I intentionally have different places so I don't feel one, I don't have access to all of the money that I'm saving at one time, and two, it's like, I know that God forbid something does happen, I can fall back on what I have been trying to save. Now, saving can be hard because we might not always remember to put that money away, take that cash out, or we just simply might not want to do it because it's like, fuck it, we ball. But at the end of the day, you still have to save money. And they say, pay yourself first. I always make sure that money goes into my savings account, regardless of how much money I have. Even if I have freaking $20 in my savings account, each paycheck, something is going in there. Okay, so it's like, always keep something in your savings account. Start a savings account, or at least start putting money away for yourself, because you do matter, And once you start doing those things, like intentionally finding ways to save money, and it might not be the most conventional, but once you start doing that and you start affirming to yourself that you are worthy of the amount of money that you attract, and you also open up your mind, your body, your spirit to receiving and to being able to receive, you will get, okay? Because it's like a give and take. It's an equal exchange. Like, if you're not open to different ideas on how to make money, or if you're not actively doing something to chase a bag, even though you're not supposed to chase, then it's like, what are you doing? And when I say you're not supposed to chase, it's like, we also have this mentality where it's like, I'm supposed to chase a bag. I'm supposed to constantly chase money. No, money is supposed to chase you. Okay. If you're in your prime and you're doing what you love, you're moving with you're moving with purpose. Okay. You don't need to chase the bag. The bag is going to find you. It's meant to find you. You need to align yourself with whatever it is. Find a skill, find a hobby, a job, and just passionately just dive into it and watch how the money will flow. Watch the energetic flow happen. And that's some advice that I need to take because I constantly sit up here and I give advice, and it's like, damn, bitch, you need to take your own advice. So I'm going to start taking my own advice. I'm not financially the most financially stable. Like, I'm not here to give financial advice, okay? Because we're probably all in the same boat, honestly. And life is expensive. Adulting is expensive. It's like there's so much that comes with being an adult, but we just have to take it one day at a time. Money is one thing that we really shouldn't play about. And it's like, if you are not someone who is into financial literacy, like, I want to learn more. Like, I'm open to learning more about investing and saving, because I used to trade. I used to do Forex. But I realized that that is not for me. However, it's like there are a lot of ways out here to make money. However, you have to be responsible and at least learn a thing or two about what a Roth IRA is, or what investing is, or things like that, because those things will really help you. Like, just learn. Learn, educate yourself, look up financial literacy, and start planting those seeds regardless of how old you are. Even if you're really young, which I hope most of you are adults, but at least start looking into saving. Look into things that can help benefit your future and long-term growth. Also, discipline. Having discipline is super important. And me and discipline, sometimes we don't go together. We don't go together. So it's like, you really have to parent yourself and train yourself to be disciplined and not allow yourself to get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. Like, sometimes you have to remind yourself of the end goal, and sometimes you have to face those hard truths and really just suck it up and deal with it. But at the end of the day, it's like, which reality do you want to pick? Do you want to stay broke, or do you want to become prosperous and abundant? All right. And another thing too, I just have so many tips. Okay. Another thing too is, like, don't restrict yourself from having fun either. Like, a lot of the times when people think about healing their relationship with money and like spending habits and stuff, people might often feel like, oh, so now I have to really just stop doing this and stop doing that and stop spending money on, that cup of coffee that you get every morning. That's a part of your routine. Like, no, spirit is not like, oh, spirit. Like, no. Nobody is telling you to stop indulging in the things that you like, okay? But it's all about limitation. So budget accordingly. If it's something that you feel like it's important that you have to have, then work around it, okay? But still make sure that you're putting money aside, and still make sure that you are being open to all opportunities. And it's just like, the lack mentality will go away once you forgive yourself and forgive others for how you perceived money in the past. Like, once you're able to really like get to the root of why you view money the way that you view it, then you can start forgiving. And this has not been an easy journey for me. It's not been a short one either, because like I said, me and my relationship with money is it's a lot. But I am grateful. I have been receiving money, and I am grateful for all the opportunities that have had come my way. And it's like, I have had to really come to some really harsh realities as well, and really start trying to heal those wounds around my own self-worth and my own self-value, because that is something else that will really help me start attracting money from the right places, because you can attract money, but it can also not align with your values, and that's okay, because not all money is good money. Okay, and that's something that people don't seem to realize. Sometimes a dollar will get presented to you, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot of money, yeah, that's a good deal, but it's like, you have to think about your own values. Think about the things that you actually want and that you respect about yourself and others. And if something that doesn't align, it doesn't align. You don't have to accept money from everything. You don't have to accept money from everybody. You don't have to always accept every deal. You don't always have to take every risk, okay? Because it's also about having discernment, all right? But y'all, we are going to be okay, you know. I feel like life is definitely going to get easier collectively. But as long as we are intentional with our money and how we spend it and what we spend it on, I feel like we will be okay. Even though our generation was robbed of the adulthood experience, I still feel like we will be okay. That is the end of this episode. It was a lot. I rambled and rambled, but if you made it to the end, I rocks with you. Thank you so much. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share if this message resonated with you. Also, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, okay? Because my podcast is also video, guys. Like, I don't just do regular podcast episodes, like I have videos on YouTube, so just feel free to check that out. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys, and I thank you so much, and until next time, bye. Mwah.